On another wet and windy Friday afternoon, it's time for P2P Live across Australia on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn with a jobs and employment market update. Hi there, my name is Mark Smith. I'm Group Managing Director of People2People in Australia and Frog Recruitment in New Zealand. And yes, it's 12:30 on a Friday, which it's time for P2P Live. We're jam-packed today. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got the numbers. And I was going to go through a particular state this week, but really those numbers have been eclipsed by the job vacancy numbers that came out this week. So I'll share with you some of those. Thanks to Callum Pickering from Indeed for providing the majority of those numbers. Then we have three jobs that we need to fill today. Those vacancies are across Australia. They're immediate vacancies. You can start work on Monday. All you need to do is apply for these jobs for Fill Job Friday. Then we've got a permanent vacancy for an assistant accountant from our finance team here in Sydney. And finally, we'll be having a chat to Farah from our Western Sydney team, where she's going to be discussing diversity and inclusion in the workplace and giving employers out there some tips about how to improve your diversity and inclusion. So it is jam-packed today. Let's jump into the numbers. Yes, so a big week this week for numbers. We have replaced our review of, I think, the Victorian update on employment because it's been eclipsed by the Australian job vacancy numbers, which have been released this week. And these numbers are remarkable, absolutely remarkable. So the quarterly Australian job vacancy numbers, you can see these represented graphically on the screen here. The source of the data is from the ABS, but Callum Pickering from Indeed has kindly put these together into a couple of graphs for us here. And essentially what we're looking at here is a 100% improvement on the number of vacancies listed in Australia from the pre-pandemic levels. It is an astounding number, and it probably is easy. If we go to the next slide, Jacob, and this is Jacob from our Auckland team in the marketing team, Friday, Mount Wellington. That's where he drinks. He goes to the pub at Mount Wellington. You can always catch up with him there. So if you're watching from New Zealand. So the Australian job vacancies, this is the share of the Australian labour force seasonally adjusted. So the Australian job vacancies as a share of the Australian job labour force, and it has never been at these levels. It's now at 3% or just over 3%. It is a remarkable number, and it says that there are more jobs out there than we have seen in generations at the moment. There was a couple of, this is important not only for people who are active in the job market right now, but even if you consider these type of job vacancy numbers as a proportion of the actual workforce. So before the pandemic, there was one vacancy for every 60 people in the workforce. Now there's one vacancy for every 33 people. If you then change that around and you think about how many vacancies there are for the unemployed workforce. So there are 3 vacancies for every 4 unemployed people at the moment. And normally there's only 1 vacancy for every 3 unemployed people. It is a flood, it's wrong language in these times, of vacancies out there. And the question that we don't have an answer for is, will it translate into higher numbers for wage increases? Let's have a quick look at a couple of other statistics that came out this week in terms of where are these all these jobs. So this is the percentage change pre-pandemic to now. So over 200% there in accommodation and food services for the number of vacancies, arts and recreation. That's really as those industries filling up the vacancies that they've got as a result of the staff reductions during the pandemic. Then you can see rental hiring underneath there. Australia-wide, it's just under 100%. You can see then in the next graph that we have here, the Australian job vacancies, which industries have the total share. So I think it's 14.1% of all the vacancies are in healthcare and social assistance, then accommodation underneath that. The areas at the bottom are electricity, gas and water, so facilities, information media and technology towards the bottom as well. So really the one that's of interest for mostly the people-to-people audience is the professional, scientific, technical services is number 3 on the list. Admin support services, number 4 on the list as well. Our supply chain teams for manufacturing there at number 6 on the list. So it's a good market, everybody. They're the numbers for this week. Now we have 3 vacancies that we need to fill this Friday. We love to fill a job on Friday. Here's the first one, $33 an hour. It's based in Melbourne. This is for it's not one specific vacancy. There are multiple vacancies within this organisation, within financial services. The length of the assignments are also of a variety. So if you are available immediately and you're based in Melbourne and you've got administration skills, then you should get in touch with Grace. 1300 338 546, or just Grace at People to People. You should definitely have a chat to her. The details of that job, if you're sitting on a bus, you can apply via Vply. You can just leave a quick video message, are in the comments. We can see, by the way, all of your comments in real time. So if you have any questions or that you have for us, then please let me know. Here's the next job that we're filling today. It's an executive assistant role. It's $32 an hour, $30 to $32 an hour. Based in the CBD. The length of this particular assignment is a 3-month contract with the scope for an extension beyond that, working 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday. There is some flexibility to work from home with this, but it is a contract position. So supporting the CFO and the CMO and a wider executive team. Great opportunity. Brooke Mackay, one of our senior consultants in Sydney, 82709780. Get in touch with Brooke if you want to start that job next week. The last one that we have is a role in Queensland, in Jindalee, $28 an hour, working for a not-for-profit organisation, 3-month contract, broad range of independent living services is what this company actually does. 5 days a week. Ideally, they're looking for somebody who's come with admin or customer service from aged care or not-for-profit. It's desirable, but it's not essential. So if you're available immediately and you can start on Monday and you've got admin skills, call Melanie Hammond in Brisbane, 07 3118 0125. You could start a job on Monday. Hot jobs available to be filled this Friday. Administrator in Melbourne. Several vacancies there. EA role with Brooke Mackay in Sydney and an admin customer service for not-for-profit in Queensland. Jump on the phone or apply via video with Vply. Simply go to the link that are in the comments now and you can apply right now with Vply. Okay, we've got to talk about diversity and inclusion, but to get us there, we've got an assistant accounting role, which our senior consultant in accounting and finance, Kirsten Garrett, is recruiting. And we've got a video of that before we have a quick chat to Farah.
I am back recruiting for this Sydney CBD ASX listed business for the first time in 3 years. In that time, they have experienced exponential growth and have more exciting projects in play. This newly created assistant accountant role sits in a team of qualified accountants who have all progressed beyond the roles they started in. In this role, you will have exposure to multiple facets of the finance function, supporting with month-end reporting, analyses of financial results, budgeting, forecasting, and statutory reports. Degree complete and planning to start CA or CPA, you possess a very high attention to detail, an engaging personality, strong academics, and a couple of years of accounting experience. This is really a graduate level plus, where career development and training is provided. If interested, please contact me on 02 8270 9720 to discuss. Thank you.
Well, diversity and inclusion in the workplace, it is a hot topic right now, and one of the best people for us to talk to about that is Farah from People2people's Western Sydney office. Good afternoon, Farah. How are you today?
Very well. The weather's not on our side, but it couldn't be better in the employment piece.
No, that's a nice segue, but the weather is bloody terrible, isn't it? I mean, really, it just won't stop raining. And I never thought, as a country boy who lived through a lot of droughts, that I would ever actually say that out loud. But anyway, so we're not here to talk about the weather. We're here to talk about diversity and inclusion. And you've got a whole bunch of tips for employers out there who may want to improve their diversity and inclusion in their workplace. What have you got for them?
Absolutely, Mark. I mean, this topic is very dear to me. And in a sense, there is that recent poll that found 70% of job seekers are rating diversity and inclusion and company culture as very important to them. Now, these points that I have for you are vital, but really they're just very simple. The point one I have for you is everyone is driven differently. So connect with the employees and ask about what motivates them. Making the effort to inquire about their personal needs and workplace preferences means that they will feel heard and understood. And that leads me to point two. Encourage the feedback. Having an open door and communication forum encourages staff to speak up or provide constructive feedback, especially about their treatment in the company due to their gender, ethnicity, sexuality, age, or other factors. It really does lead to a more inclusive and happier workplace, which really, this is the third piece that I have for you. Work flexibility. Now, everyone's been talking about it. It's about accommodating everyone's different lifestyle needs and expectations individually and not assuming employees fit the same old mold.
Yes. Now, look, you mentioned there that diversity and inclusion, it's part of people's decision making when they come to learn they're looking at employers. So are you seeing that in your lived experience as a recruiter in Western Sydney, where people are choosing organisations over another one simply because of their diversity and inclusion policies?
Absolutely, Mark. Look, now more than ever, there are trying times. There's a lot of insurity there going back and forward with the pandemic as well. So people are really looking at how did companies go through COVID previously, and did they take care of their employees? Did they look at, contributing to their work flexibility arrangement? Did they want to hear from them? And they're really looking at making sure their next steps and their next moves really show this as an example.
Yeah, great. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you again for joining us from Western Sydney this afternoon. Diversity and inclusion, it is a really hot topic. If you want to chat to Farah about this, maybe you are thinking about moving organisations or want to change your career, and diversity and inclusion in a workplace is important for you, then how would somebody get in touch with you, Farah?
Look, I think the best way to contact me is give me a call. I'm happy to give out my mobile number, 0448 092 968. I think having that personal chat and really understanding what clients and what you're looking for and making that match is really essential. At the end of the day, diversity in the workplace is essential in creating a thriving business, Mark, and especially when it comes to the engagement and encouraging creativity at the end of the day.
Fabulous. Fantastic. What a great contribution. Thanks, Farah. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. So to wrap things up now, we've obviously got our Twitter poll from last week. Here is the result of it last week. And to be honest, it's all about whether you're working from home. And I was a bit shocked about this, can I say? Has the increase in petrol prices lately affected your likelihood to move to work from home? Now, the equivalent number in New Zealand, by the way, is about 40%. In Australia, though, then it is 50.8% said that, yeah, I'm working from home more because it costs too much to fill up the tank. 21% don't drive, so it's 1/5. And other people are still commuting, so that's a third. But a half of those respondents, about 700 people responded to this, said that, yeah, they're making decisions to work from home based on the price of petrol. Wow, cost of living is certainly up there in terms of people making career and work decisions. Let's have a look at this week's poll. Do you seek a job even when you're happily employed? So are you out there looking for a job even though you're happily employed? I wonder what the answer will be. Yes, no, but no, I'm not looking for, I don't look whilst I'm happily employed. Why are you just open to opportunities? Or, yeah, I'm looking every single time. So I can see Manda has said here that a happy place is a profitable workplace. 100%, Manda. Diversity and inclusion is also a big factor in people making choices about where they want to work. So vote on our Twitter at people2people and LinkedIn for our this week's social media poll. We'll have the details next week. I do see that the weather is going to clear up, touch wood, for next week. So hopefully we'll have sunny skies. And when we do P2P Live again at 12:30 Australian, it won't be daylight saving next week, standard time. And we'll see you then.